drive folder. Okay, so you can go through the video and you can install the software. So once it is installed, we can start working on Proteus software. We can do things like design, the simulate digital circuits, that is logic circuits, and we can implement embedded applications using microcontrollers, Arduino boards. Okay, so a lot of features are there in Proteus software. Okay, yeah. So to start with, let us look into the um, okay. So installation procedure for what is known as Proteus software. No, I don't have that. Hold on a second. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, this is the tutorial video. Let me play this. Somebody's on the line. Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, here we go. So first, let us understand, how to install the Proteus software, and straight away we can work with the Proteus software. So the experiments which we have already done, like 1 to 7 experiments, we can do it using Proteus software. Okay, because it supports both basic experiments using logic circuit as well as embedded applications. Okay, so let us quickly look into the the video where it shows the installation steps of Proteus software. Okay, here we go. Okay, yes, I'll run through this video so quickly in case if you have not seen this. Okay, so when you download the folder, okay, it has these files. Let me show it, in my system. So it has a installation software, installation package, okay, on README file and the crack. Okay, so it has two folders. One is which we have to do it before installing the Proteus and after installing the Proteus. Okay, basically it is a key. Okay, both the folders has a key. And second folder has two files, bin and models. Okay, so let us quickly look into the installation procedure. So these files you'll be able to download. Once you download the folder, you get these files. Okay, so this is the first step. First step is uh, open the first folder and clear the installed license. Okay. Yes, are you able to see the video, guys? Can somebody respond? Okay, okay, fine. Here we go. Okay. So this is the setup file. Extract it, but in the folder I shared, it's already extracted. Okay, so you can straight away see the extracted version of the software, the file. You can straight away double click and you can start installing the software. This software is very useful for your the ASM project also, and mini project ASM project. Wherever you make use of embedded applications, you can go for this software to simulate the embedded environment. Okay, just hold on a second. I think somebody's on the somebody's on the no, not yet. Somebody's on the line. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So these three options you can select, and you can decide the folder where you want to install the software. By default, it is C, because C has the driver files and registry files. So better to select the. But only thing is you can decide this the this location. Okay, the path, program data path, that you can change it in case if you don't want it to be in some random folder like in documents. You can modify it and you can change the location, not a problem. You can change the path so that you can select the location where you want to install the files. Just hold on a second. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so these are the packages that are installed along with this software, Proteus software, PCB design. There is a schematic, VSM, and DirectX. Okay, so these files are installed. Sorry, packages will be installed along with this, software. So installation procedure is very simple. Maybe I guess if you are looking at the if you're installing for the first time, this video will be very useful. Okay, things looks okay. Here there's not much of a change. You can say import. So this is set up before the the installation. Next, after installation setup. Okay, so after installation setup, go here. Okay, so copy these two folders. Go to the location where it is. Okay, yes, before that, the Proteus software is provided by the company called as Lab Center. Okay, so it is, you can see that the folder is installed in program files, Lab Center, Proteus 8. This is 8 version, Proteus 8 version. If you download from internet, you may get latest version, but there's going to be a trial software or a student version, something like that. So you may not be. So in this folder, you already see those two folders, bin and models. You need to replace it. Okay. So make sure that those two files are replaced. So this is the step performed after installing the software. So we have two steps. One is before installing, another is after installing the software. Okay. So then you can run the, the Proteus software. So then we can start working on the, okay, fine. Okay. Yes, from this point onwards, let us discuss. Okay, you can select a lot of the libraries and you can work with that. Okay, so I have already installed the software. So this is how I could have shown the installation, but it takes time, so that's why I'm avoiding that step here. Okay, yes, once you launch the Proteus software, this is the window you get. This is the page. So here you can see a lot of options for PCB design, simulation, schematic capture, okay, migration guide, and various software version history. What are the various versions we have in Proteus. Okay. All this is shown here. There is a help menu also, so you can look into quickly go through some. Help, like for example, for a schematic capture there is a help file provided, so you can go through that, basic programming of devices, so that can be that information can be obtained here. So first let us start with the the uh, process of designing the embedded application. So for that, first step is file, new project. Yes, before just as before that, we have mm, hold on a second. Yes. Okay. Yes, I have two. I think it's not shared. I'll share these two files. Proteus tutorial. This files gives some information about Proteus software. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So what are the packages available in Proteus software? It's called as a Proteus design suite. Okay. Various packages includes schematic design. Okay, so the schematic design, as you can see one of the snapshot shown in the picture here in this document, it's used to create schematics, that is circuit diagrams. Okay, that is logic circuits. So this is a virtual hardware for simulation and logical design for PCB layout. Okay, so before we go to the PCB layout, first we have to design the circuit. Okay, so as a first step, circuit design, we make use of a schematic package. Okay, schematic design. Next comes the what is known as a firmware design. Okay, so in the firmware design, we write program to control the circuit. Then we simulate the circuit to test and debug the entire embedded system in Proteus software. Okay, let's say we use a microcontroller. So when we use a microcontroller, it needs to be programmed. If it is not programmed, we cannot expect it to control a hardware. So programming is a must. Okay, so when we merge this hardware with the program, we can call it as a firmware. Firmware basic meaning is combination of both the the data as well as code, that is program, stored in a memory with the intention of controlling the hardware. So we call that as a, basically we call it as a firmware. Okay, so not just drag and drop and interfacing the components. So we have to write a program for the embedded applications. Okay, maybe for a simple logic gates, using basic gates and digital ICs, though we need not program. But when it comes to embedded applications, we need to program. So there we come across what is known as a um, firmware design. Okay, next is next package provided with this software is what is known as a PCB design with a working virtual prototype. We can place and route the physical PCB. Okay, because we want our design in the form of a PCB, so we can convert our design into PCB. Okay, with this package. Okay, so it's basically a professional constraint-driven layout tools. Okay, because for PCB design, there are a lot of constraints to be satisfied. So that is the basic requirement for a PCB design. Okay. Next comes 3D visualization MCCAD. So use the 3D viewer for visual inspection and for export to MCCAD tools like SolidWorks. Okay. So for 3D viewing, of course, for this, of course, additional hardware is required, no doubt. Okay. But all this is possible, because we can simulate Arduino boards using using Proteus software. That's possible. Okay. So hardware prototype, next package, verify that your firmware works on the real hardware. So once it is designed, we can prototype it using various hardware like FPGA. Okay, field programmable gate arrays. Okay, using FPGAs or using Arduino boards, we can implement the design. It's not just programming and simulating, it is implementation of design using hardware. Okay, so basically what does this Proteus design suite does? Okay, so it will it is used for teaching basic electronics using Proteus, like schematic. Basically, we can interface components, we can program it, and we can observe its operation. Okay, so that's one thing possible, possible with the Proteus software. uh, this package what we are using in our laboratory is for this purpose, that is for embedded applications. Okay, that is microcontroller based applications simulation, where we simulate various embedded environment, like we can interface the components, like for example LEDs, 7 segment display, or LCD display, or motors. We can interface to microcontroller and we can simulate. Okay, so there this package is very handy. So we make use of this package for a embedded application to simulate embedded applications. Okay. So of course other things are there, like PCB design, which we are not doing that right now anyway. Okay. So PCB design, layout, formation, all this you can see one example. Once PCB design is done, it can be it can be converted into an hardware where we make use of physical ICs and physical switches, physical components basically. All this is possible. Okay. So this is the basic intention of a Proteus software. It is provided by the company called as Lab Center. Okay, so the Lab Center Electronics. So website is labcenter.com. Okay, of course it is a commercial software, no doubt. Okay, here we go. Okay, okay. This now we know what are the basic purpose for which this Proteus software is used. How to work with this? Let us start with a simple example. First step, we have to create a project. So if you already have a project, you can click on open project. You can open the project, because I think I have few projects already created. You can create a new project. For the first time, if you're doing, you can start with a new project. When you click on a new project, it will ask something like this. It will ask for the name of the project. Okay, and it will also specify the path, default path of the project file, where it is shown, you know where it is saved. Here you can change the name of the project. Let us say experiment 8, for example. Experiment 8, you can give any name, there's no restriction on the name anyway. But make sure you do not change the file extension, because it is a Proteus Design Suite project. PDSPRJ stands for Proteus Design Suite project. So make sure that you do not change this dot extension. Okay, so then it will not work. So we have to make sure that dot extension is intact. Okay, without affecting the dot extension. This location you can change. You can save it on desktop or any other folder of your choice. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, so right now I was working with the desktop. You can save anywhere. That's not an issue. Okay, select a path. Next step. So click on the new project. Okay, because we are not working with the development board. So click on a new project and click next. Okay. Now what happens is that two possibility now, create a schematic and do not create a schematic, because right now since we are working with schematic diagrams, that is interfacing the microcontroller to various components, we have to go for a create a schematic option. In that there are various templates available, because it is like a size of the the workspace where we place the components. It comes with a different space, A0, A1, A2, A3, USA, USB, various templates. By default, we select default template. Why? Because I'll tell you, I mean, it's very simple. Until and unless we have an idea where we require a particular size of template, we can go for a default. If we are clear with the size, you can go for a particular size of the template. So select default is enough for our laboratory purpose. Okay, so click on create schematic, select default, click next. Okay, next is it will ask for the do you want to create a PCB layout? Of course, in our experiment we are not doing that. So select default as do not create PCB layout, click on next. Next, it asks for firmware. As we discussed, firmware basically it will combine this hardware and software on a hardware environment. So which we are not doing it right now. So select no firmware. Click next. Okay. So out of three packages, we have selected schematic, which is enough for our purpose now. We are not doing for a PCB layout or the firmware. Okay. So things looks okay. Click finish. It will create a window like this. So this is the what you can see on the left hand side, left hand top corner. This is the default schematic size what we have selected. Okay, if you have select A0, A1, A2, it will give a different size. So schematic is enough for us, so we are going for a default template. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's fine. So now next is we have to place the components. In we can start our implementing the hardware. What are the things we can do? First is first. Let us look into on the left hand side. In the toolbar you find lot of options, lot of menus. Okay, selection mode, component mode. For example, terminal mode. Okay, and let us say this probe mode. There are various modes of various tools are available. First, we have to place a component. For example, let's say we want to design a simple circuit, so we need to place a component. Okay, so to place a component, we have option of this and not and gate or gate kind of symbol. You can click on this, or you can click on P. On the left hand side, you see two symbols, two letters P and L. Click on P for the placement of the component. You'll get this window. Of course, you can click on this also. No, I mean there should be one in the same. Just a second, I think I'm not getting the. Okay, component mode. Select, click on P. We get this window. Okay, because here we can see that on the left hand side, all the devices, all the components available are grouped into various packages. For example, let us say inductors, library, basically we can call it as a library of devices, switches, and you can select transistor, transducers, and various other like for example diodes. Okay, so you can select one of the component. You can select one of the library, sorry, and you can select one of the component, and you can say okay. On the left, when you do that, on the left hand side you can see that that component is placed in the library. Okay, where we are presently working. For example, I selected motor. How to place this on the schematic? Click on the the component and place it on the, you need to drag it. It's not a drag. Click and place the mouse on this this template, on this workspace, and you can click on the workspace wherever you want that component will be placed. Very simple. Okay, of course right now we are not working with the motor. I just showed one example. How to delete in case if you don't want a component, select and delete. Select the component and delete the component. Very simple. Okay, so right now I'm not working with the motor, so let me remove the motor from the library for timing. Let me pick let us say for example, let us look into one simple diode. For example, take the diode, the generic type of diode. Okay, so not the um, so not diode, sorry. Let us go for LED. Because we are not doing any analog circuits anyway. So click search using the keywords, for example LED. So we get various options. You can see that there are various types of LEDs. What we get here, we can select whichever we want. There are xenon diodes are also available. Lot of things. Okay, so select LED, click on one of the component and press OK. So you can see that that particular component is placed in the the library workspace. Drag it, sorry, select it and place it on the workspace. You can use the mouse button to zoom into that particular space. Okay, you can watch the the uh, space close the component closely so that you can make the connections. Okay, what are the other things where we can place, for example, to start with, like it includes other component like 7-second display, a lot of things. So to provide input and output, you have to go to this option that's called as a terminal mode. You can see that here. Click on this. Various possibilities, input components, output components. Now it is represented as label. Okay, bidirectional labels. Power label, this is VCC. You can drag and you can select this and you can place it somewhere here. Okay, you have the ground also. Okay, you can place, click on this, move the mouse button, you can place it anywhere you like on the workspace. Okay, chassis and bus. Okay, so all this is possible. So for our purpose, and just to quickly look into the simulation, component, let us have this component for timing. Okay, once you place the component, if you move over the mouse near the component, you can see one rectangular you know symbol. Okay, that indicates that that is a point at which you can make a interface. Okay, using a wire. So drag the mouse and connect wherever required. For example, here. Okay, so these two anode is connected to VCC. Similarly, the cathode can be shorted to the ground. Cathode can be shorted to. That's all. Okay, simple connection of a diode. What is the next step? Is in just like in any other simulator, you can simulate the this connection. So whatever we have done now, we can start simulating. Okay, and it will show the, of course I have not selected any that is indicating LED. So we have a lot of LEDs. I'll show you that now. So simulate, click on simulate to start simulating. And once you want to stop the simulation, if you can click on the stop simulation. Okay, that will stop the simulation. Once it stops the simulation, it will open this window where it shows various errors in the schematic. Okay, so in any errors, in case of any errors, it will show it in the in this window. Okay, simulation errors. And not only errors, it will show other information also. For example, let us say compiling design. So we have designed the project, experiment 8, something like that. So it is compiling. Okay, netlist compilation, netlist linking. Okay, partition analysis, simulation partition, Proteus and this package. Okay, so where the netlist is loaded from, the path from where the netlist is loaded. Okay, so all this information will be displayed in this window. Okay, so this has a lot of information to provide to the programmer. Okay, so let me delete this. Yeah. So let us go to the component window, and not yet. Sorry. So we need to go to this So go back to the component window. Click on this component mode. Then click on P. Or else it will show some other window where only that particular library component will be shown. Okay. No, for example, let us look into some 7-segment display. So you can see that 7-segment displays are various types of 7-segment displays are available. Okay, Since this experiment is already done, let us not look into this now. I'm just showing you, what are the components are available this this Proteus software. LED. When we select LED, yes, you have to select this, colored LED. I'll show you that, because otherwise it will not this. Okay, so I'll show you the component in just a second. Okay, yeah. Here it is. Okay. As you can see, LED. This can on the left hand side you can read the type of the LED. For example, LED blue color, LED green color, LED red, LED yellow. Okay. So select because we can see the output properly. Okay. So select one of the component. Let us say green, for example. Click OK. You can find that component here. So click on the component, drag the mouse. You can place it anywhere here. You can rotate also. You select a component, rotate left, rotate clockwise, 180-degree rotation. All this is possible. Okay, just like any other simulator, we can make the changes in the components. Okay, properties of the components as well as how it is placed on the schematic. Okay, in just a second, in case. Okay, here we go. Okay. So again, let us simulate it so that we can observe the output. Very simple. It's a indication. Since I have selected green color LED, it shows the turn on condition of an LED. Very simple. Is that okay? This is very simple thing. Okay. Next is we have to for embedded application we have to work with the controllers. So let us look into the controller part now. Let me delete all this. Okay, so that select all the components. You can press on click on delete, it will delete. Okay, here we go. You can go to the component mode, click on P. The search window comes. Using keywords, you can search a component. Okay, fine. The controller what we use along with the array button board is 8089S52, but we don't find this version of controller in the Proteus. What we do is instead of 8089S52, select 1889C, and there is a controller called as C51. Can you see that? The characteristics of this controller 8089C51 is similar to that of 8089S52. What is characteristic, guys? You can see on the on this portion here. What are the characteristics of this controller? It has a 4 kilobyte. What is 4 kilobyte? It is the internal ROM space. Internal ROM space. 33 megahertz. The operating frequency is not 11.0592 megahertz, of course. It is 33 because we know that microcontrollers work with a frequency in the range of 10 megahertz to 30 megahertz. 30 megahertz. It varies, In this one works with a frequency of operation of 33 megahertz. Okay. So, but other features remain same. For example, it has two timers, two 16-bit timers. It also has a UART. Even 8051 also has a UART, Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. Okay, fine. Since 8089 S52 is not available, we are going for this. Very simple. Okay. So in case if you have downloaded some other package, other version of Proteus, you may find 8089 S52. In such case, you can go for it. No issues. Okay. Click on this. We can see that that component is placed on the project window. There is a label, the component list. Okay. Click on this, and you can place it on the workspace. You can place it anywhere, wherever you find it's. You can, if you zoom out, you can see that it is placed somewhere in this region of a schematic. You can zoom in so that you can look closely into the component. Okay. Let's quick review of this component is this 8089 S52. Basically, it's a 40 pin IC, just like any other microcontroller. It is a 40 pin IC. Now, in this, what we don't find is pin number 40, that is VCC, and pin number 20, that is the ground. This, in case if you find, you will let me know, because we don't find VCC, and it's not that it doesn't work, not like that. It is assumed that pin number 40 is VCC, pin number 20 is ground. Okay, it's not explicitly shown here, but we can see all other pins. For example, 8 pins of a port 0, port 1, 8 pins of port 1, 8 pins of port 2 and 8 pins of port 3. Pin number 9 master reset. 18 and 19 external clock pulse, XTAL1, XTAL2, and 3 control signals: program store enable, address latch enable, EA enable, external from external memory, enable access. Okay, EA bar. Okay, except these two pins, 40 pin and 20 pin, all other pins are available. You can also see, the this component shows the other functions of port 0. That is, it is used to carry the lower 8 bit of a data as well as address, and port 2 carries upper 8 bit of address. Okay, so that's also shown here. And other functions of a port 3, like p3.0 is rxd, and p3.2 is external interrupt pin. Okay, and p3.3 is again external interrupt pin. Okay, something like this. So all this information are shown here. Now, whenever we see any microcontroller, based circuit, this is what we come across. Okay, I'll show you the these connections. Generally, whenever we look into the controller, we see few common connections. Like for example, at the bottom you can see these connections. There is pin number 18 and 19 is connected to a crystal oscillator of some frequency. In this case, 11.0592 megahertz, and two capacitors. Okay, this connection, we need not do it here because internally it will generate a frequency of 33 megahertz. Until and unless we want to change this frequency, okay, we need not connect any external crystal oscillator to XTL1 and XTL2. Only when we want to change the frequency, we have to go for a additional external component, external oscillator. Okay, otherwise we can work with the available crystal oscillator with the package. Yes, okay. And other things what we generally see is, this pin number 9. Usually, since it is a master reset, it is connected to 5 volts through a switch. This we have seen in our Aryabhatta board also. In our Aryabhatta board also, at the top bottom we have seen the the switch, black switch. Okay, so this is the master reset. This is internally connected to pin number 9 of 8051 microcontroller. So hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so pin number 9 of a 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so that pin is shown in this diagram. Because why I'm telling is this is, in generally, if you see any microcontroller based diagrams, circuits, generally they'll show these two connections. There is oscillatory connections and the switch connected to master reset, pin number 9. This we need not do it in the Proteus package. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we need not do it explicitly. It is understood, and moreover, we are not resetting the circuit, so we don't make use of this reset pin anyway. So by default, we don't use it most of the case at least. And hardware we have to use anyway. In hardware circuit we have to use, but here it is not necessary. Okay, it's fine, done. Okay. Now we can interface other components, like for example, you can interface the LED to one of the pin. We in the laboratory we used to work with P2.0 or whatever it is. For example, something like this. Okay, just a second. So we used to connect LED to P2.0, and the cathode to ground. We used to work with the LEDs. All this we can do. Since that experiment is done, let us not discuss that here. Just a second. I'm going to like this. Select more. Select the component. Delete. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. Now, guys, next is okay. In this experiment, we are going to understand, the interfacing of microcontroller to LCD display. Okay. LCD display. That is the experiment number 8. Of course, in this is an older version. So here this is experiment 9 in the earlier version. So what we have to do is we have to display the character hello world on the LCD display. So first, let us look into the LCD display and let us discuss its characteristics and features. Then we'll start working with that. Okay, LCD display. It comes with various configurations. Okay, so most of the commonly used configuration is 16 cross 2 LCD display. As the name suggests, 16 cross 2 means there are 16 columns and 2 rows. Okay, so character can be displayed either on the top row or first row, or the bottom row or the second row. Okay, in any of the columns, it need not be on the first column to start with. We can display it in any of the columns of the LCD display. Each LCD display comes with total of 16 pins. Okay, if you see at the bottom, so you can see at the top. In fact, you can see that here. Okay, so it has various pins. Let me change the color. Okay, red should be okay now. Okay, so at this top, this is a top view. You can see the 16 pins connected to the LCD display. Okay, to start with, let us start from the left hand side. This is the pin number one. Yes. Okay. So the leftmost pin is pin number one, 2, and up to 16. Pin number 1, 2, and 3 is used to provide supply to the LCD display, VSS, VCC, VEE. Okay. So we are going to basically provide three types of supply voltage to LCD display. Pin number 4, 5, 6 represented as RS, RW, E are used to control the operation. Okay, guys, observe this, that description is given here. Okay, VSS is ground, okay, common point. VCC is plus 5 volts. This plus 5 volts we can take it from our Aryabhatta board. Straight away we can take it from plus of the Aryabhatta board. VEE is for the contrast control. See, each LCD comes with a backlight. That backlight, that light is provided using this source. You can see one white patch here. This is the light source. That is backlight. Okay, this provides the backlight. So this contrast can be controlled using VEE. It's a potential. Basically, we make use of a potentiometer. That I'll show it here in this diagram. Pin number, that is the 1, 2, 3 are connected something like this. Let us discuss that here. Okay, something like this. If you can see the connection here. Pin number 1 is a ground point. It's connected to ground. Pin number 2 is VCC. It is shorted to VCC. And pin number 3 is for contrast control, for which we make use of a potentiometer. This potentiometer is connected between VCC. If you can see that connection of the potentiometer, one end of the potentiometer is connected to VCC, another end is connected to ground. The midpoint of the potentiometer, something like this, something like this. The midpoint of the potentiometer is connected to pin number 3. This is pin number 3. This is for the contrast control. Okay, so we are going to vary the resistance so that we can vary the voltage, VW voltage. So thereby we can control the contrast of the brightness of the backlight. Okay, so for that purpose we make use of pin number 3. Okay, so that's about the supply voltage connected to LCD. Next comes pin number 4. Pin number 4 is RS. Okay, this is called as a register select pin. If it is 0, then the register is used as a command register. That is, we'll discuss that also. Various commands given to LCD display, like for example, shift the cursor, display the character. So for that purpose, we make use of a command register. If it is 0, that means we are using the bit as a command register. If it is 1, we are using the register as a data register. So we can use the register for a command to store the command or to store the data, because we have to send data as well as command to the LCD display. Data for display purpose, command for the to control the operation of a LCD display. For both the purpose, we have to use the register available in the LCD display. Pin number 5, RW. Actually, it is actually R/W bar. Okay, single bit is used for two purpose: read, write bar. When the bit is 0, the LCD display is written with data or command. When the bit is this pin number 5 is 1, the content of the register will be read by the microcontroller. Okay, so because this is ultimately connected to microcontroller 8051 can send the data, that is, it can write the data into the LCD display, or it can read the data from the LCD display. Okay, so for writing purpose, to microcontroller, the pin number 5 should be 0. To read the data from LCD display, the pin number pin should be connected to logic. Okay. Okay. Next is pin number 6 of the LCD display. E for enable. Okay. So basically, it is active low signal, I to low pulse, on the this pin will enable the display device, okay, or else it will disable the display device. And that means as long as it is high, the LCD display is disabled, okay. So it should be low. High to low transition will enable the display device. Pin number 7 to 14 here, somewhere here. Pin number 7 to 14 is 8-bit data lines of the LCD display, data pins. Okay. Out of this, D7 pin is used as a busy flag pin. Okay. Why it is because once data is being written to the display device, so this bit indicates the display device is writing the data or displaying the data. So for that purpose, the MSB bit or D7 bit is used. D7 of a LCD display is used. Okay. Because next is last two pins. Pin number 15 is LED plus, which is connected to 5 volts, and LED minus, which is connected to ground. Very simple. Okay. So totally, if you observe, there are 5 voltages applied to the LCD display. One is VSS, that is ground. Okay, that means pin number 1 and pin number 16 are common point. Okay, shorted, no problem. Okay, VCC 5 volts and LED plus is also 5 volts. Pin number 2 and pin number 15 can be shorted because both are VCC. Only this VEE is a something different because it cannot be any voltage, it cannot be 5 or 0 volts. It has to be between that to control the contrast of the LCD display. Okay, this is about the LCD display hardware. Next is various commands which are sent to the LCD display. So let us look into that now. Okay, yeah. What are the various commands which are sent to the LCD display to control its operation? Okay, the command is sent as a X code. Okay, why it is X code? Because we are using port to send the command, so obviously it should be an X code. Okay, code 1 corresponds to clear display screen. It is a 16 cross 2 display screen. Okay, it has 16 columns and 2 rows. So to clear the display, we use the code 1. Okay, 2 is used to return home, that is to return back to the initial position of the for a cursor. See, cursor indicates where the characters are displayed. So to return back to that initial condition, default condition, code 2 is used. Code 4 to decrement the cursor. Okay, shift cursor. Okay, so to shift the cursor towards left, no, left side, then we use the command 4. Similarly, command 6 is to increment the cursor, to that is to shift the cursor towards right side, no, right side of the LCD display, to display new characters. Command 5, shift display right to, okay, for example, let us say we have displayed a character A, for example. This character can be shifted to the next positions. Okay, so for that we make use of a command called as 5. Then comes command 7 to shift the display towards left hand direction. Command 8 to display of cursor off. Similarly, command A, display is off but cursor is on. Command C, display on, cursor is off. Guys, why cursor is off is that because let us say we don't have any more characters to display. The cursor will be blinking in one of the display position. Cursor will be blinking. To prevent that, we can turn off the cursor. Okay, so to turn off the cursor, we can use the command C. Command D, display on, cursor is blinking, so that it displays the cursor blinking. Command F is for the display on as well as cursor blinking. I think both are same. E and F. Command F, or is there any? Okay. 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 Let us look into that. Command 10, shift cursor position to the left. Command 14, shift cursor position to the difference between shift left and shift here is that we can shift the cursor position multiple times, multiple location times. For that, we may go for a command 10 and command 14. Command 18, shift the entire display to the left, multiple display, multiple unit display. For that, we go for 18. Okay, so that's the basic difference. Somebody's on the line. Okay, yeah. Okay, next is okay. Pin the command 1C, shift the entire display to the right. Okay, command 80, force cursor to beginning of the first line. That is O. That is no, the in the first position, the cursor position. To force the cursor to the first position, we use the command 80. C0, force cursor to the beginning of the second line, to beginning of the second row or second line. Okay, 38, two lines and 5 cross 2 matrix. Two lines are used, but only 5 cross 7 locations are used. That is 5, cross 7, 5 cross 7, you know, positions are used instead of 16 cross 2. Instead of standard 16 cross 2, it is only 5 cross 7 with a command of 38. It's okay. So more details are given here. Pin number 3 is a supply pin. Pin number 4 are a register select pin. Okay. So we discussed, for example, pin number 4, that is RS. If it is 0, D0 to D7 pins are used as a command lines. If it is 1, it is used as a data lines to display data on the display device. Read write pin 0, write data to LCD. If RW pin is 1, read the data from LCD. Who will write and read the data? Microcontroller. So it will read the data and write the data to microcontroller. No, sorry, LCD display. Enable pin. This pin is used to latch data present on the data pins D0 to D7. High to low transition on this pin with a minimum width of 450 nanosecond is required to latch the data to display. See, if enable is not is not enabled for a duration of 450 nanoseconds, it will not latch the data onto the. See, first it has to be sent to the pins D0 to D7 so that it can be displayed on the display device, so LCD display. So the duration for that is minimum duration, latching duration for which the data displayed on the display device is 450 nanoseconds. So slight more details in this part of the document. Okay. Anything else? Let us say pin number data pins D0 to D7. So for a 16 cross 2, uh, display device, it is a parallel data pins, because in the shift registers we have seen serial in, serial out, all that is possible. We are using parallel 8-bit data lines. Okay. Pin number 15 and 16, plus volt and minus volt, that is ground. Liquid crystal display don't have their own light. Okay. Like for example 7 segment display, because in 7 segment display each pin is made of LEDs, so that means they provide their own source of light for display purpose, which is not possible in case of a 7 segment display, and hence we have to control the we have to provide additional light. To provide that additional light source, we have to apply voltage to the 7 segment display. Okay. The module has a backlight LED. It is a backlight LED which display now. When it glows, we can see the character displayed on the 7 segment display. Supply to this LED provided through these pins. That is, pin number 15 provides 5 volts. Pin number 16 provides the ground. Okay, that is the to control the on and off of the backlight of a 7 segment display. Okay, fine. Okay, this is the programming part. Let us quickly go through the program and then we'll simulate it on the 7 segment display. um, we are defining okay, this slight change here. It is not port 2, of course. Port it's not port 1, it's port 2 actually. This I updated in the manual. It is shared with you guys. Why not port 1 is because port 1 connected, all the 5 pins, 8 pins connected to port 1. When we run, it will generate an error, like simulation error, something like that. To prevent that, we go for a port 2. Now, three pins what we discussed: register select, read write pin, and enable pin should be connected to one of the pins of a port. Okay, we use port 3 for that. RS pin, that is register select pin, is connected to P3.5. Read write signal is connected to P3.4. Enable signal is connected to P3.3. Okay. Okay. This next is the next module is, let us quickly rush through the program now. Delay. Okay, because for each character display there should be some delay. At some delay time the characters are displayed on the. Otherwise, you will not be able to notice the the characters. So there should be some delay. Okay, so that is the delay is generated using this function millisecond delay. So define one to, you can display, you can control using timers also. In this, it is done using a subroutine or functions, int character, variables. Okay, next is LCD command. Okay, so LCD command is a function to which the command is transferred. Command is passed. Okay, function to send command instruction to LCD. Okay, so we are going to send a command through D0 to D7 of D7 pins of a 7-segment display. Okay, so in this function we do that. Let us look into this function first. The command is sent to display port. Because by the way, what is display port? Display port is P2. We are defining display port instead of using P2. We use a name display port P2. So whatever we send it to display port, it will automatically transfer to port 2, which is connected to D0 to D7 of LCD display. D0 to D7 of LCD display. Okay, fine. Here we go. Okay, display port command. Okay, initially RS pin should be 0. Register select. What is register select 0 means? It means D0 to D7 is used as a command lines, or register is used as a command register. Basically it means the register is used as a command register. RW bar, RW bar is equal to 0 means rate is equal to 0 means the microcontroller is writing data to LCD display. Enable should be 1 because so that we can control the, we can access the LCD display. And we insert some delay, approximately, some delay, random delay, of course. Since enable pin works with the concept of high to low transition, the delay between this high to low transition should be some 450 nanoseconds. We saw in the earlier discussion, around 450 microseconds. Okay, so for that purpose, to generate that delay, just a second, Okay, yeah. Okay, so to generate the delay, we have to provide that transition, high to low transition on enable pin. So for that, initially it is set to 1, so that it is logic 1. With some delay, it is again reset to 0, so that LCD display is enabled. That's the idea. Okay, if it is kept high, constant, without these two lines, if it is kept high, the LCD display will not be enabled. So it should have a high to low transition. So for that, E is first set to 1, then it is reset to 0 after some delay. Okay, next is LCD data. Void LCD data. Okay, so this function LCD data is used to send some data to the LCD display to display the character. Okay, so display data, we can call it as a variable name as display data. Where we are sending this display data has to be sent to port P2, and port P2 is identified as a display port. Okay, now the register should be used as a command register. To use the register as a command register to display the data, sorry, not a command register, sorry, data register, sorry. To use the register as a data register, RS should be set to 1. If RS is 0, it is used as a command register. If RS is 1, it is used as a data register. Okay, data register. RW bar should be 0. Why? Because we are writing, still we are writing the data into, LCD display. Enable should, these two lines, these three lines are common, because each time to enable the 7 LCD display, first the E pin should be set to 1. With some delay, it should be reset to 0. Very simple. Okay, yes. Next, initialization. There is this is the function subroutine which is used to prepare the LCD display, so that it can start displaying the characters. Okay, first command is 38. Okay, what is 038 does? For using two lines and 5 cross 7 matrix of LCD display. So for that purpose, first command sent to the LCD is 38H. Okay, in the C program we write it as 0x. Insert some delay, okay, of 10 milliseconds. Okay, and send the command 0f. 0f is used to turn on the display and cursor blinking. There is cursor is blinking and it indicates a location where a character can be displayed. where character can be displayed. Okay. Next is with some delay, command 01, which is used to clear the screen, so that each time we can display the we can display the data on a fresh screen. So display the clear the screen. Insert a delay. Command 81. This command 81 is used to bring the cursor back to the home position, that is first position, first display position of first row, first display position of the first row, and a delay. Insert some delay. Okay. So these are the basic commands which is used to clear, which is used to prepare a LCD display for displaying the data. Okay. Or else it may start displaying on some random location, some random data. So better to use these commands. Okay. So main program, the character to be displayed on the LCD display is stored in a array. Okay. 14 characters, of course, with a null character at the end of the array, because we know that in a C language, whenever array is created, compiler will insert a null character at the end of the array, which indicates the end of the array. Okay. Now, first is variable L is not 1, it is L. Initialize to 0. Okay. And call the LCD initialization function. What is LCD initialization function? Is what we discussed just now. LCD initialization function. Okay. So when once this is executed, LCD display is ready to display the character. Okay. So first this function should be executed. So call the function. Okay, variable L, L0 to L12, because we have to display the character. Send each character, of course, in our case it is hello world, to LCD data function. What LCD data function does, by the way? Let us quickly jump back to the LCD data. Here it is, LCD data. Yeah, here it is. Okay, what is LCD data does? Whatever the character received in this function will be sent to port, so that that particular character can be displayed on the LCD display. And each time we have to make sure that register is selected as a data register, and RW bar should be equal to 0, so that data can be written to LCD display, and it should be enabled. Enabling, again, this E pin should be should transition from high to low. So this is done each time. Each time the function is called. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Oh yes, here it is. Okay, so send the character, L acts as the index. Send the character stored in the array one by one. Between each character display, insert a delay of 50 microseconds approximately. Because we are not using the timers to generate the delay, so the delay is going to be approximate. Okay, fine. Okay, this in this case, this is not for display purpose. In fact, these lines are not there. Let me remove this. This is for the scrolling purpose. This updated program I've shared in the in the group. Please go through the program. Okay, display the character, the program is this much, this much. But to scroll the display, there is whatever. See, in this 9th what 8A, 9A program, what we are doing is we are simply displaying hello world, yellow world on the LCD display. If you want to shift this character, okay, either in the first row or in the second row, what we have to do is we have to write additional lines that we are doing it in the 9th B program. Okay, scrolling of message. Let us quickly look into that also. Okay, other lines remains the same base. There is not of course this is port 2, no doubt. Okay, there's not much of a change in other other functions, other commands are same commands. There's not much of a change in that, except in the last while loop. In the while loop, what happens is that we're using the same variable L to to change the command scrolling. For scrolling purpose, we have to use the command 1c. Okay, as if you see the commands quickly, let us see the command 1c. Okay, just now we saw that 1c stands for, what does the 1c command does? 1c command shift the entire display to the right, position by position. It's not just shifting, jumping the display positions. It will shift the content towards right, bit by, the position by position. So for which we make use of the command 1c. Okay, so thereby in 8th B program, in our case, in our scheme. Okay, what we do is first we send the command 1c to the LCD command, the port. Okay, In the LCD command function, what it does, it will use this 1C as a command, because there we select RS as 0. RS 0 means it is a command register. After shifting the cursor, it will display the character with some delay. Let us say, for example, 50 microsecond or millisecond delay. It's a millisecond delay, in fact. Okay, so for shifting purpose, we have to make use of this while loop, uh, 9th B program. No shifting, we need not use this. Very simple. Okay, so that's all the changes between 8th A and 8th B program. Of course, here we are shifting the right. What if you want to shift right, left? We have to change this command. That's all. Other part of the program remains the same. And if you want to change the data to be, character to be displayed on the LCD display, you can change this array. You can change this array. You can change the characters. Very simple. Okay. Okay, yes. Now let us look into the Proteus part. How do we simulate the this experiment? Okay, yes. Now we have understood basics of LCD display. Let us quickly pick a LCD display. How to do that? Very simple. Either you can search as LCD, you get lot of things, lot of LCD controller, lot of things are available. Okay, so this may be confusing. For example, you can find this kind of LCD display also, graphical LCD controller, lot of things. Okay, to make it simple, search it as 16 cross 2, 16x2 better. We'll have only two options. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, we have only two options. Lesser the options, lesser the confusion. That's the basic idea. Okay, select the device. In our case, it is 16 cross 2 alphanumeric LCD, because the LCD display, just like a 7-segment display, is used to display the alphanumeric characters 0 to 9 and 8 or something like that. So select the LCD display. We have this also, but this is better because this is the hardware what we have in our laboratory. Select this and place it anywhere. Let me place it somewhere here, because I need to connect a lot of other things like resistor and supply. Let me place it somewhere here. Okay, fine, done. Okay, fine. Yes, now we have to make the connections. For connections, what are the things we require, guys? I require a 10K pot resistor and around 1 kilo ohm or 560 ohm fixed resistor. 560 you may not find in practical laboratory. It's around 1 kilo ohm, or I think 480, or 469, I think, ohms resistance. Okay, fine. How to search? Very simple. Okay, you can search it as potentiometer pot. Again, a lot of things we get. This is the basic, of course. 10K, we need to search for 10K pot, 10K potentiometer. 100 positions. There it is. Lot of components. Better to search it as 10K. It's very easy to search. Instead of 10K. Here it is. Okay, so here we go for, yeah, here it is. Observe this. DigiKey, one of the the component called as DigiKey, with is a potentiometer, 10 kilo ohm potentiometer. Size is 3 by 4 inches. Okay, select this and place it somewhere here near to pin number 2. Okay, fine. Okay, this how to make the connection. If you see this connection part, pin number 1 is grounded. So what we want now is grounded. Go to module. For that, you have to go to, not module, sorry, terminal mode. Select ground. Okay, and place it somewhere here, very close, somewhere here, so that we can make a connection. And we want that power also. There is a VCC. Place it somewhere here, so that we can. Yes, somewhere here. Okay. So pin number 1 is ground. Pin number 1 is ground. One end of the pot is connected to ground. Another end is connected to 2. Pin number 2. Okay. Pin number 2 is actually VCC. Pin number 2 is VCC. Here we go. Okay. Actually, pin number 2 is connected to VCC. VCC is also connected to other end of a pot. That's what we are doing here actually. Pin number 3 is connected with the pot. Okay, because if you're not okay with this kind of connection, what you can do is, I'll tell you, remove this connection. You click on this. Okay, remove the title. Press OK. You will not find that title of the component. Okay, we don't require that anyway. As long as we understand it is a pot, we don't require it. Go to component mode. See, if you are in it, this selection mode, you'll not be able to select a component. So you can go to component mode, then you'll be able to select the component and place it on the the schematic. Okay, yeah, here we go. So in our program, of course, in this program, what we are doing is actually pin number 3, the RS pin. If you can observe here, RS pin is connected to P3.5, RW P3.4, and enable pin P3.3. We can change this actually. We need not use this pin. We can change this pin, no problem. Okay, but in our program we have done this. So let's go to this this schematic pin number. Let me zoom in so that okay, we can mm, yeah, something like this. Just okay. Pin number P3.5. Let me drag this so that I can hold on a second. Like this. Just a second, because I'm trying to fit such that I can see both the pin number 3 dot. Okay, here it is. Okay, somewhat okay. So this is RS pin. RS pin is connected to short, not okay, okay, because I'm not able to. Okay, just a second. Hold on a second. Something like that, so that we can get some space to connect RS pin. RS pin, because you can see that the wire will automatically reshape itself according to the component placement. Okay, RS pin is P3.5, RW pin is the what you call again it's a problem. Okay, we'll do one thing, no issues. In this case, what we do is let us drag this to somewhere here so that we get extra space, no problem. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the RS pin, the RW pin is connected to component mode. RW pin is now connected to P3.4. Okay, and enable pin is connected to P3.3. Okay, fine. Yes, next is these data pins. The data pins are connected to port 2. Okay, so that's why what we do. Yes, here we go. Port 2 pins. Yes, I want this. Yes, just a second, because I'm trying to. Okay, here it is. Let us first place the make the connections. D0 to P2.0, D0 to P2.0, and D1 to oh shit, again same shit. Just a second. Okay, so D1 to P2.1, D2 to P2.2, similarly D3 to P2.3, D4, again we have the same column. Okay, no issues. We'll shift it to the right. No problem. Select this, shift to the right. It will automatically right. No problem. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this we have no sufficient space now. No issues. Okay, D4 to P2.4. Oh shit, it's still in the. Okay, P2.4. Similarly, D5 to P2.5, and D6 to P2.6, and D7 to P2. Okay, P2.7. Fine, done. Okay, yes, two more pins in the discussion just now. What we had now, we understood that LCD also has two pins. That is LED plus and LED minus. That is to control the backlight, to turn on and turn off. Okay, in this schematic, what is assumed is that those two pins are connected accordingly. Like pin number 15 is connected to VCC. Sorry, pin number 15 is connected to VCC, and pin number 16 is connected to ground. Since these two connections are fixed, we don't have any other choice. We cannot connect 15 to ground. Not possible. Okay, that's why in this component, these two pins are not shown. You can observe that these two pins are not shown. Okay, you need not make a connection. It is understood. It's the default. Okay, fine. It's okay. Now we are done with the connection. Now we have to program the the hardware. For programming, what we do is two methods. One is right because ultimately we write the code in C. We wrote the code in assembly or C. This has to be converted into machine code so that that can be burnt onto the flash memory of microcontroller. For that, what we do is there are two possibility. One is right click on the the this microcontroller, go to edit source. In this edit source, it will ask for the compiler. The compiler is, you can select Keil compiler and click OK. It will open one compiler window. Here you can paste the program. So let us say, for example, I'll show you one. Let us say 9th A, for example. Okay. So 9th A program. Let me make sure I've taken P2. Okay. And yeah, here we go. Okay. I'm selecting in issue with the brackets. I think there is extra the bracket. It will generate error. Is it okay now? Brackets, yes, here we go. Okay, so let me select the program, eighth in our case, and we can place the program here. This is one possibility. Copy the program. What's the next step is? Next step is just like our kill compiler, compile the program so that we can check for any errors. If no errors, it will automatically create a X file. So for that, right click and build project. Okay, it will create a X file, and accordingly we can program the microcontroller. Okay, this one possibility. The other possibility, and you can simulate actually. You can click on this and you can simulate. Other possibility is that since we are familiar with the Keil compiler, what you can do is you can generate the Xcode using Keil compiler. I think in this I have written this program is for the scrolling display because uh, is it a scrolling display? No, it's not scrolling display, just a normal display. Let us do this program. Okay, so you can copy, you can take the program in Keil compiler. You can generate the Xcode. How do we do that? Check for the syntax error. Go to options for target, go to output, make sure that this create X file option is enabled. Select the target location, which I have already selected as desktop, so that I can quickly trace the file. Okay, click OK. Next is right click, rebuild target, just to make sure that it will generate X file, and the X file is now it's loaded on the desktop in my case, in this case. Okay, to load this Xcode generated by the compiler, some other compiler, what other than the Proteus compiler, what we do is we go to this. Okay, sorry. We go to this schematic, right click on the microcontroller icon, the IC, schematic. Click on edit properties. You can see the second option here, edit properties. A lot of details are there. Let us not discuss all this. In the fifth row, there is an option called as program file. It is asking for the path of the X file. The path of the X file now we have to select. In my case, it is desktop, which is already generated. I am calling it as lcd.x. Select the X file, just like what we do in our prog ISP in our laboratory, to provide the text, Xcode. Select the X file, click on open. You can see that the file is now loaded to the hardware, that is X file. Okay, which will be automatically loaded into the flash memory of microcontroller. And also you can see the clock frequency guys, it is 12 megahertz. Here you can change actually, it's not an issue, but let us keep it as default. Let us not modify all those properties right now. So only select the path and click OK. Now we can say that the flash code is burnt onto the flash memory of microcontroller. Okay. What is the next step guys? Very simple. Once all this is done, click on simulate. Where is the simulate? At the bottom, bottom left part of the Proteus software. There is a play button. This is nothing but a simulate. Okay. Click on the simulate. If everything goes well, if all the connections are okay, no errors in the connections. Okay. In our case, it is it should start displaying the some issue with the. Okay, it's not displaying. Okay, yes, just a second. I'll stop the simulation. Is it because this source code is also there? That's why I need to delete this Discord. Okay, okay. Let me take the code again. Edit properties. Select the path as a desktop because that okay. Select Xcode, click OK, and click on simulate. If everything earlier, the problem was that this what you call the source code, keel compiler code was also there. That's why it is not working. Now it's okay. Now this is not a scrolling message. You can see that it is a simple display message. What we see in this display part is this black rectangle indicates a what is known as a cursor position. Okay, in that position it's going to be character is going to be displayed. Okay. Ninth B program. Let us execute that program also. It's very simple. It's a the only additional lines in a scrolling message is the last while loop. This while loop will control the that scrolling part. Okay. Since it is in under while loop, it will continuously displays. Okay. So let us place it in the main program somewhere here. I think we need one more closing bracket. Otherwise, it will generate error. Okay. Yeah, now it's okay. So eighth B, sorry. In our case, it is eighth B program. Program, check for syntax error. Okay. So make sure that it will generate a X file. In my case, it is saving on the desktop so that I am easy to pick the X file. Go to the the schematic. Stop the simulation. Of course, this simulation error window displays all the history. I mean, all the possible information about our simulation. Like what is the model used, what is the X file. Okay, any errors. If in case of any errors, netlist generated, path of the netlist, a lot of information. For FPGA implementations, we need a netlist. Okay, for all this. For such cases, it is required. Okay. Anyway, so for us right now, that's not that information is not required. Right click on the edit source file. Sorry, not edit source file. We used to do that actually. Okay, anyway, edit properties. Each time we need to load the Xcode. This we have understood in our laboratory. Otherwise, it will not change the output. Okay. Select the path of the source code X file. Select apply, and then click on the simulation. If everything goes well, the it will display the character. Not only that, it should also shift the character towards right because the command what we have selected is 1C. 1C command will make sure that the display content, display character on the LCD display will be shifted towards right, character by character. Okay, so this is 8th B part of the program. What we are displaying on the first row, we can display the character on the second row. That's also possible. All this is possible. Okay, we can have these changes in the laboratory programs, like display it on the second line, display it on the first line, right to left shift, left to right shift. All this is possible. Okay, so we should be familiar with the various commands which are used along with the which are used to control the display of a LCD display. Yes, is that okay, guys? I mean, it's very simple. I think guys, by now, I think this no, the Proteus part is clear. Now, how to pick the component, how to simulate. It's very simple. Okay. Yes, any doubt in this, guys? So what I suggest actually is that try to simulate other programs using Proteus. Because you get familiar with the the you can modify the code. You can get familiar with the programming part. You can change the code. Example for in this case, for example, you can change the commands. You can see what happens. Instead of one the command. Let's say cursor position. For example, let's say this one 5x7. You can select some other configuration. Okay. All this is instead of cursor blinking, cursor off, no cursor display. All this is possible. We can change the command. We can experiment with the uh, devices. Is that okay, guys? Is any doubt in this part? So for first thing, what you have to do is you have to download the package Proteus from the link already shared with you guys. That also has a installation tutorial video and how to work with the Proteus. What we discussed now, of course, based similar to that. And okay, and you start installing the install the software and start working on the Proteus. Is any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, fine, guys. Let us conclude the the laboratory session here.
Sir, can
And
you send the code?
sorry, ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ manual
No, sir, this code.
this 8A8B program you're talking about
Yes, sir.
it's already shared, no? Okay, I'll share it. Don't worry, no issues. I'll put it in the group. I'll do one thing. I'll share it in your group only. You share it in the class group. Very, very simple, because I think that is better. I'll share it in the group now. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right,
Okay,
away?
sir.
Okay. Fine, yes. Guess write the record also. Meantime, because I don't know when we are going to resume. I mean, resume of course is already from 16. By then you can write the. Okay, this one more thing is this. No, this. Forgot to that. What is the this? Ninth program. That's also there in the manual, of course. Manual programs, updated programs. I'll show quickly. I'll show you. I think you got the list of programs. Ninth experiment is basically the combination of all the experiments what we have done. Basically using switches, LEDs, and LCD display. This is an exercise experiment. We can have this in the exam also, not that it's just for the practice purpose. This is for the for timing. Execute this ninth experiment in Proteus because you don't have access to hardware. If you have access to hardware, it's well and good, no problem. Okay, or else you can start simulating this in the the Proteus software. Write these experiments in the record also because ultimately we want all the nine experiments to be written in the record. Ninth experiment it can be considered as two experiments, ninth and tenth, because for the because we should have 10 minimum 10 experiments in the laboratory, so we can group it into ninth and 10 experiments. Okay, so ninth experiment is exercise. Simulate Proteus, write in the record, so that by the time you come to the college, you can submit the record, completed record with both eighth program as well as ninth program. Eighth anyway, I'm going to share now. That's okay.
Sir, sixth C we have not did.
Sixth C is exercise program again. I think some of you are already written, I guess. Sixth C program. This is very simple. See, what is sixth elation? Four LEDs connected to port pins. So switch is okay. This yeah. Here it is not complete. Sorry. This question is not complete. I'll update this question and share it. But it is very simple. If you have done sixth A and B, it is very easy to perform sixth C. But here there is a full question. I'll share this. I'll modify this. I'll correct this. I'll share it. Okay. Sixth C also you have to write in the record. Sixth C as well as ninth experiment. That's okay. And seventh C. Seventh C is also of course an exercise program. Sixth C, seventh C, and ninth experiment. So all these are exercise programs. That's okay. Okay, it's fine. Thank you. Thanks for
Yes.
joining. Okay. See you in the next lab.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.